Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne's Sharp World, where today we are taking a look at another new Vosteed knife, as well as going over a promotion going on right now that can save you some money on this knife right here, or any other knife your heart desires from Vosteed. But first, let's take a look at the knife and see just what we have here, and what we are talking about is none other than the Vosteed Corgi Pup. Now, before I go any further into this review, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in today. If you like what you see, please do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, follow along, and I will continue to bring you the content. Now, let's take a look at some overall specs on this little knife right here. We are looking at an overall length of 5.93 inches, a blade length of 2.37 inches, and a blade thickness at 118 thousandths. Blade material on this guy is 14C28N with a drop point style blade, a very clean, classy drop point style blade, a flat grind, a handle length coming in at 3.56 inches, and a handle thickness at 472 thousandths. Handle material on this particular option is G10, clearly orange G10 in case you might be a little colorblind, or micarta. There are micarta options as well. We are looking at, of course, the button lock and the good old Trek lock. I believe that's a Trek lock. Hold on a second. Oh, yeah, Trek lock. The Trek lock was on the original Corgi, but then I started to look down there and it looked like a gap, but there is not a gap. That is definitely the Trek lock on this guy. We are looking at a user of a right or left hand tip up carry, a weight coming in at a rather reasonable 2.86 ounces, designed by the one and only Yudong of Vosteed Knives, and a price coming in at a pretty nice 59 bucks. So not too bad on the wallet. Now, before we talk any more about this particular knife, let's talk about the pretty sweet promotion going on. Now, this promotion is going on Vosteed's website as well as Amazon. You can't combine the two, of course, but if you buy any two knives off Vosteed or any two knives off Amazon, you would save 10% on your entire purchase. So not too bad there. So if you want to pick up a Corgi Pup and get its big brother Corgi, which I believe there are still some other Corgis available, you could do that right there. Or if you wanted to get a Corgi Pup and maybe pick up a Thornton, of course. You knew that was coming. Now, actually, this version is not available. There are still, last I saw, though, I just checked yesterday, and there was two versions available, the black and blue as well as the orange and black, I believe. So, I don't know if they still are, but there was a small little stock that happened to be, to get added to the inventory from a previous shipment that got held up. So you could do that, or you could get a mini nightshade if there's some in stock. It doesn't matter. Any two Vosteed knives off Amazon or Vosteed, you save 10%. That's a really, really good deal, especially Vosteed. They make really good knives under 100 bucks. So you're already getting a great value. You're just getting a slightly better value. Save that 10%. So there's that. And you kind of already saw them, but let's do a quick size comparison here with a couple bigger knives. Let's get that straight and lined up on there. And we'll get that lined up right there. So as you can see, this is definitely a pup, considerably smaller than the regular size Corgi, and a lot shorter than the Vosteed Thornton. As it should be, the Vosteed Thornton and the Vosteed Corgi are Corgi. I was saying Corgi and now I said Corgi. I don't like that. Anyway, yeah, there's the size comparisons. And let's bring out two other smaller ones to maybe give you a better idea of the size of the Corgi Pup. And here we have the mini nightshade, which is probably, yeah, definitely the best size comparison, unless we bust out this little guy here, the Vosteed Chipmunk, which is also a really sweet little knife, and I believe there's some of these still available too. Pretty close to that as well. Now, the big difference is the blade length. You have a shorter blade on the Corgi Pup than you do both of these two models here. So that's that. That's about all we have for size comparisons and promotional talk today. Now let's talk about this knife. Let's talk about why the Vosteed Corgi Pup is a pretty sweet little piece. Now, the big thing is some people are really particular about blade to handle ratio. This is definitely a knife where you see a little more disparity between that blade to handle. Much more handle than there is blade. Now, I will say there are pros and cons to that. Obviously, the the lack of blade. Some people just prefer a bigger blade, but this feels really nice in the hand for me. I do wish there would have been some jimping up there on the spine of the blade. That would have really been nice, because that spine does feel a little slippery, but the actual handle itself does feel really good. Now, you see this right here. I wanted to address this because this is a lot. I know everyone was going to ask me this in the comments, and just please don't ask me in the comments. If you do now, I'm not going to respond to it because I'm telling you in the video. You see this right here. This small handle, my finger is directly on the button. Now, as you can see, I am pushing down. You see that whiteness on my hand there? That's me pushing down on this handle. I have this gripped as much as I can, and I'm pushing with my thumb. I'm not breaking the lock. I'm really not even putting any pressure on the button. I'm touching the button very much, but I'm not pushing the button down. So, I'm not going to say there's no possible way this thing could close on you if you're holding it like this. If you have maybe like thicker or chubbier fingers, you could potentially disengage the lock. I don't have an issue with that. And obviously, I probably wouldn't always hold it like this. I would be more aware, and I would probably hold it something like this. And it still feels good. It's still like a 3.5 finger grip. That's going to be a very touchy subject for some people. So, if you don't like that, then, don't buy this knife, I guess. But I'm not really concerned about this. Yes, there's a potential for that. It has yet to really scare me off at all. I've carried this quite a bit. I brought it with me to Canada, carried it all over the place, and I had no issues with it whatsoever. I enjoyed it very much. So take that for what it's worth. The rest of the blade is just very nice. It's a very clean, very good looking drop point. Love that little swedge, and just a very simple, very just aesthetically pleasing drop point. Very, very nice blade. Nice slicey edge coming down to about 16 thousandths behind that edge. Nice little razor thin edge there. And then the handle itself is rather basic. I can't say orange would be my first choice. I would probably grit dye this black. It's probably what I'll end up doing. But it still looks really good. Symmetrically, the Corgi is just a winner. It just really is. And the full-size Corgi is even a little more of a winner in my opinion. I really do like that bigger size. But for some of you that have blade length restrictions, and I think there's even some places out there that have like blade restrictions that the blade has to be under 2.5 inches somewhere, I think like Boston might have that rule. I feel like I heard it somewhere. Let me know in the comments. I thought there was some cities that require blade lengths to be under 2.5 inches, which is very weird, but there's a lot of weird, dumb laws out there. But in terms of the handle itself, it's very neutral. And this is really kind of where my hand's going to be at most of the time. So, you could really do that hammer grip, but I mean, why would you do it with this knife this small? So this is a pretty good grip for me. I have no issue or no concerns with it. The clip's nice. I wish it was a little deeper, but based off the design of the knife, you just can't really have that. So kind of is what it is, but it still carries nice. Most of it carries, not like super deep, but it's also not sticking out of the pocket a lot. So no huge issue there. In terms of the action, I really, really like the action on this. Really like how the clip makes it very easy to front flip that blade out. Of course, it's reach around approved, and the flipper also works very well. So from an action standpoint, it's very solid. You can even do the lighter flip. It's a little trickier with a shorter handle, but it is doable. But overall, I definitely like this as a front flipper, a reach arounder, and of course, the regular flipper. It is a very nice little budget knife if you like smaller blade lengths. Got a great steel, great quality, smooth action. It's a pretty solid little piece. Not for everybody, but I think there's definitely going to be some people out there that would be very happy to add this to their rotation. The Vosteed Corgi Pup. Be sure to check it out. And if the Corgi Pup isn't your cup of tea, there's a lot of other knives available on Vosteed. Buy 2, save 10%, February 26th through March 8th. There you go, guys. That's a video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And until the next one, I'm out.